Yes, 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 yes. Shit. Whoops. Going on. Hopefully you can hear me okay. I'm gonna pull up Instagram. Pull up the Instagram. We're gonna look at a little bit about Bitcoin. Boot camp. Oh yeah. You guys can hear me, huh? Let's see. All right, so we should be screencasting. You should be able to see a little better on YouTube here. Assuming screen. Told you I'd get around to. I'm a busy mofo. I got about 85 things to do every day. So let's see. I'll bring up my boot camp account because I'm gonna test something for tomorrow here. Hopefully you can hear me. Hear me? So yeah, now I can see the comments too. How cool is that? Working on some shit for the podcast too to make it a little fancier. Move on to a writer to help gibberish out a little bit faster than I use. Bought the whole shitload of crypto today. Wilford says he bought a whole shit. That's cool. Yeah, so we'll look at Bitcoin here. I mean, it's funny where it stopped. Pull up, I'm sure you've already looked at the chart, but where it stopped, Bitcoin came right in. It bounced right off that 3,000 level. It's going to take me a minute to get used to this because I'm seeing it on a slight delay. If I sound confused, I am. So this zone held here on Bitcoin. It came all the way down to 330 grand. Beautiful. Yeah, see you guys on Instagram. I'm doing a screencast over here on YouTube. I'm confused. I'm playing with both of these at the same time. Yeah, so we hit 30,000, literally bounced. I mean, I gotta imagine we might test that again. RSI is pretty extreme, but you know how it goes for crypto. It can stay extreme for a long time on the way up, on the way down. Ordinarily, with stocks, I'd call that a completed move. Previous high to previous low. Shall see. Shall see what happens. It says, what platform do y'all use? This is stock charts right now. I imagine that people using a lot of different platforms for crypto. So the base setting up. So it's weird because it's delayed. It drives me crazy. Um, is this hold? Man, I don't know. No. If we back up and kind of look at a bigger picture, you could say we got a big stage 2, big stage 3, and stage 4 going on. And I'm sure right now Bitcoin is probably doing better than most of the altcoins. It started off the other way around. Started off a lot of the altcoins were doing better. A lot of them have become pretty heavy. This has been adding to Cardano. Man, the only problem, and it's not really a problem, but we look at Cardano. We'll get to Ethereum now. No, Cardano really hasn't come down. ADA hasn't really come down. I mean, a little bit. I bought a little bit too. I hate to see it play catch up. A lot of coins I wish were on Coinbase. It doesn't have a lot of the smaller ones. Right? Obviously, you can add. A friend of mine's got 7 wallets so that he can buy, and it gets to be a little. And you only have so much money to go around, man. So unless you're doing it the lottery ticket. He says the screen share is spot on. Okay, so that's cool. You don't believe, man, I went through so many tests and I had to get the audio right. I hate all this tech. It's not that it's complicated. It's just sitting down, learning something new, learning a new platform, learning a new way of doing it. And then I got to do that shit with the way I publish my newsletter, the way you do shit on Instagram, the way you post it and turn it on YouTube. And then the way, like, it's a never ending shit you got to learn. Why a lot of people you see they're podcasters and then they just film their podcast, or they're YouTubers and try to cut, edit, and put, just trying to master them all, learn them all, stay up to date on all of them gets real difficult. Oh, by the way, you got to work and family and life and trade. Oh, by the way, you're a trader, so you got to trade, right? You got to look for shit to trade and all that. So I don't know. Bitcoin's putting in a box. We'll see if this level holds. There's a rumor about them taking it down to 25. Apparently, there's some big trader wanting to bust everybody out. I don't know. They always say that kind of shit. Something's going on. Let's look at Ethereum. Obviously, the number 2. Now, Ethereum was obviously running ahead of Bitcoin. Same thing, man. Pulled right into this. This support level is pretty strong, though. Pull it up here. We'll do the regular money flow thing tomorrow. I just wanted to test this screencast on YouTube and make sure it was working. Test video I did work. I mean, this level is, it looks pretty good, man. Like for Ethereum, I took a shot at this, or I'm about to take a shot at this today. Just kind of waiting. You know, ordinarily I wouldn't. We've got 4 candles kind of holding this zone. That's the start of a box. I think you got to be, you know, trying to play the money flow exactly the same with crypto as you do stocks is probably not as good. Probably some slight changes you might need. It says, yeah, watch the testing video. Watch the Make sure to download the native Cardano wallet and stake your ADA, the easiest staking process in the game. I haven't staked anything. What are they giving you for staking it? I know there's a shit ton of it staked, though. I read like 31. I mean, there's a lot, man. A lot of coins. Everybody loves Charles. He's a good dude. If you listen to him talk, he's a neat guy. He sounds super smart. There's a lot of haters, though. I don't understand all the haters and it either, so it's bizarre. I guess because they're diehard Ethereum fans. So this Ethereum came right down, right to support where we kind of would have thought on a chart. The only problem, you know, obviously the RSI is not that extreme, but it had run really high. So from here to here is literally a 50% drop, and it's still not in an extreme RSI. That's crazy, right? Most stocks, if you fell 50%, would be on an extreme RSI. This one is. Yeah, I like listening to Charles. He's always inviting people over his house. I don't know if that's bullshit. He's always like, come on down to the ranch. Something tells me you just roll up at this dude's house. He's not letting you in. He's a billionaire. Maybe. Check out BlockFi. I use it in real estate reserves. Get 18. Yeah, the connecting crypto to real estate is an interesting concept. Other than the volatility is an issue. But I think if you can continue to build your positions on these lower prices, then you'll be able to handle that future volatility. I was trying to explain that to a friend of mine who's fairly wealthy, and he's concerned. And I'm like, well, bro, you're trying to put too much money in there at first and you're trying to get rich. That's not, I mean, build it up over time so that on these sell-offs, you're building up, you know, you're lowering your position so that if you stake them or borrow against them, you have some flexibility in the room here. You bought up here and started borrowing against it, it's moved 50% against you. You're about to have a margin call or a problem. If you did it down here, I mean, it's got to go a long damn ways before you run into problems. So, you know, you can borrow on Bitcoin on Coinbase. I don't get mad about that because you're putting your own ass up as collateral. So, not like you're going to lose your house. You're just going to lose your Bitcoin. So if you do that and you want to leverage up, you can borrow against your own Bitcoin to buy more Bitcoin. It's, you know, it's a little different than margin because you get time to pay the loan back. So that I would rather do that than, you know, use like, you know, 10-to-1 margin or some shit. Yeah, people do, man, and people get scared to buy when it's crashing. I hear that a lot. Do you think the market's going to pull back? Even if we're talking stocks, if you're talking stocks, everybody's like, "Well, I'm gonna wait till it pulls back," and it's like, yeah, but the problem is when it pulls back, it looks ugly, furious, and brutal, and very few people, other than the most diehard, are going to step in and start buying. Then, right? So, 1 inch. Let's burn through some of these. Whew, man, 1 inch has come down. So all of them basically look very similar, right? 1 inch. All these have been really high, man. Look, that was an $8 coin at one point. Now it's $2. Oh my God. I think I started buying over here. I bought a little here, and now we've pulled back. So pretty underwater in this, man. But these positions are pretty small. So, I was kind of hoping. I had no idea that, we'd get a sell off, but I mean, I was kind of hoping for that. Bitcoin, I'm not worried about. I just hold it and buy more. But I wanted to get better position. Like look, I mean, if you didn't catch these over here, you're getting a chance to do it again. Now, where does it start? Where does it stop? I don't know. I mean, technically, these are still in a down move, other than if they hold this little box they're trying to build. Below the 5, everything's pointing down. Yeah, it'll save right now. If I said your name right, Ron, it'll be on YouTube, and we'll save it here on Instagram. Okay, I'm on the boot camp. Let's see, Aave. I like this one. Damn, that thing has dropped by 50%, man. And look how fast it did. But on the other side of that, look how fast it can go up. And then you had this long period of just nothingness. I'm basically break even on this one because I've been nibbling on these lows. And then it ran up and I was up pretty high. Now it's pulled back to basically where I started. Maybe that's frustrating if you've been in this 5 months. That's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it is I can stack that coin count, get some numbers, but you got to believe in the whole thing. BlockFi ever had a bad publicity or any horror stories? Don't know, man, to be honest. Oh, this is cool. I can show people who use curse words in there. I just got to click accept. I haven't used this on YouTube, so I haven't seen this side of the. Heard about a channel on Fifth Third Trading. Love your channel. Good shit, GP. Oh, okay. Appreciate that. Hey guys, coin, big profit. Yeah, I don't use BlockFi. I've used Coinbase and I use shit. Some of them block Texas. I don't know why. Like, it's great anywhere in America, but Texas and Oklahoma was the one that I saw the other day, and I'm like, the hell did Texas do? So all these are the same. So this is my favorite one, just because I love that guy Charles. I love what they're trying to do. I think it's super cool. Take this to the third world. It seems like a no-brainer to me. Can't trust a bank in some of these countries. If I was in one of those countries, I would prefer my money be in ADA than be in the, you know, whatever currency they have, and especially in Africa, even some of the Asian countries or the Middle East. I'd feel much better having all my money in Bitcoin than I would in the ruble or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, to double tap your earning by. So, I mean, ADA, this one's a conundrum for me. I'm trying to get a largest position in this, not larger in Bitcoin, but larger than anything else. And all we've really done is come back to support here. I mean, this is where I started buying. Like, I bought this breakout here. We're just right back to where I started buying. So that, and look, the RSI is not that far. I mean, there's room to the RSI here. So I'm going to start. It's funny. I recommend you to all my friends. Back when I started listening, they only listened in talking about Dodge Pop. Oh, Doge. Why do I say Dodge? Jesus. Doge. I get asked. I still get asked about Doge. I finally just said, hey, buy some. Make it 2% of your money and buy some shit. Why fight it, man? Just don't get the, but the problem is a lot of people buying Doge, they want to buy a shit ton. And it's like, no, man. Go buy a little bit. If it goes up, great. Convert it to Bitcoin. If it doesn't, you didn't lose much. How do I join the Money Flow gang? Robert says. Robert, just hit my bio link, man. You got to start with the book. Can't teach conviction. That's for sure. Like you said, I only knew about the RS rule. You gotta get my book, The Money Flow, and then if you go to page 28 of the newsletter, it talks about how you could trade with those. It's been some rough trading, I ain't gonna lie. Especially more so for, I mean, the big cap tech stocks have done fine. The, Facebook, shit like that, Amazon, those have done okay. It's all the growth names just got smashed. Some of them are brutal. Now we're seeing it in the cryptos. So if you go in the newsletter, let's take this back. My man just asked about getting in. You haven't ever read this little thing that I wrote here in the beginning here? You should read that. And then in the front, it's not, I try to update it once a week. It doesn't need to be updated daily. It's too much. And I just kind of talk about what I'm doing, what I'm thinking. As you get further down, some of it may be stuff that I think is still important, but it could have been 2 or 3 weeks ago, like new value play in China. That's been for a while. We've been trying to play China. Trade hasn't gone anywhere. Market's been down. It's looking better than it was. If you come over here on page 5, often this is a day, 3 days late. If you're trading with us, obviously I text all these moves as I make them. Most of this is just positioning. I'm just positioning around things, just moving things around. And then down here, I kind of summarize it. The last trade of the week I did was Z. Then that's when the market took a big ass hit. I've held it. I think the stock is undervalued. I'm not getting stopped out of it. I usually have a section in the newsletter where I talk about the sector that I think has the most value. And, it was oil, and then oil took off, and so I took it out. Then it was gold, and then now gold's taken off, and so that's gone higher, so I've taken that out. And now it's EV. As often happens, I get in a little early. We did that on gold. We got in early, and then it took another leg down. I think oil took 2 or 3 legs down. It went down for a minute before finally stopping. These EVs will do the same. They're going to stop, turn, and head up, and then we'll have a different sector. It's the one on fire. Very, very welcome. The R size, the oscillator, that means, show that. Did they block that? R size measure. For some reason they blocked your comment, bro. Velocity price. Oh, you said shit. That shit built into. Yeah, it just measures velocity of price. Doesn't mean it's done going up or down. Just means probably gonna pause right there. And then I put these scripts in the very back of the newsletter. That way, if you're just totally into stocks, you can skip. You don't even have to go to it. Something you should do. Now, a lot of this is just, I do this, I can do it in my head, but I try to write it down. I print this off once a week for myself personally, because I used to write it out by hand. Now, in order to put it online, I don't do that. These are all the stocks that I'm just watching every day. I'm usually in all of these. I'm moving money around them based on where they're moving. But if you notice, like it says SPY, stage 3, stage 4 breakdown. So if you go look at the SPY, if I say 3, 4, it's probably like between, it's probably going into a 4, but there's some support. So I call it a 3, 4. Like it's gold, stage 2 breakout. It's been on a stage 2 breakout for a minute. Crude oil, stage 3, 4. It means it's starting to break down, but it's probably stage 3 top that looks like it's breaking. And then the bonds was a stage. I need to change this to stage. But anyway, and we've recently added. And you should kind of do that yourself. Like you want to follow these. I used to call it the 4 horsemen of the financial apocalypse. The S&P 500, gold, crude oil, and bonds. And now we could probably add in Bitcoin in there. Maybe you track the Qs. You don't have to do just mine. These charts you'll see, I can't put them all in there because I'm in like 45 trades. So I just put the ones that are, that I like, and then I'll rotate them out of the newsletter. Doesn't mean I got out of them. I'm just not talking about them because, it gets boring talking about the same stocks, right? Um, this is the page I wish people would take a little more serious, where I talk about micro trades, man. Meaning, if you're trading a smaller account, get those position sizes right. There is nothing worse than you get into a penny stock and you make it 20% of your size, and then it falls by 40%. It puts you in a real pickle. So if you're first trading or don't have a lot of money, you got to think defensively as much as offensively. So take your trade sizes based on how much you can lose, not so much how much you can. Let's see. Fiction video. Yeah, you got to have. Danny Miller bought 100K of Matic last year for $100 a year ago. Now worth 115. It's cool. Big money, bro. There's some big money, man. Wow. You come over here. If you click on this 17 steps, I got a little course that I've only gotten to step 6. I got pulled off for a minute. I'll get back on that very shortly. It sends you an email. It's got some videos. We walk through one video a day. Could have bought a house with a. What was that? Let's see. Yeah, it's all different things though, man. A lot of times, problem people will run into is they go into, well, should I pull all my money out of stocks to buy a house or something? I'm like, no, keep the stocks and buy the house, man. Like, you can't keep rolling all into one sector and then rolling all out into one asset. The idea is to build up lots of assets. Like, you want to own lots of houses. Just because you own houses doesn't mean you can't own stocks. You get into one or the other, it's because you're operating in a very limited space, man, a very small space. Man. Got to let's see. Got to think bigger than that. You got to think keep the stocks and buy the house. Got to figure that one out. And there's times that I've gone almost 2 years putting no money into stocks. None. I collect my dividends and I trade because all my money was going into real estate. So just because you own stocks, don't think you always have to be putting money in them. And the same, even in a sell-off, you don't have to add to every position. Just because every position's in the red doesn't mean you got to add. In crypto, you don't have to add to every coin. You could just fucking fuck it. This sell-off, I'm just buying Bitcoin, and they'll recover and move higher. I mean, then the next one you might say I'm only buying it there. Like it doesn't have to be everything, all of them. They're all going to come back up when they come up, man. Borrow against your portfolio. I'd be fine with borrowing against it as long as you're cool with losing it. I usually try to put a new video in here. Let's see. A lot of penny stocks. I have not updated this page. I need to get over here. I run out of time a lot. Off the bat, I already see this is a stage 2. So these are penny stocks that I'm trading. I need to update this. I get behind on that. So I said I got to get a writer. I got to hire someone who works as a writer with me. Constantly update all my shit. Gas fees. They'll figure out those gas fees. Anything that's a problem today will be fixed by a smarter person later. Try explaining that to people with companies, corporations. You fix it. You got money. If you got money, you can fix any problem. So, for real estate, borrow against your portfolio. I'd borrow against my real estate. I wouldn't borrow against my personal home, though. I'm not a big advocate of borrowing against your house because your kids didn't do it. So if you're stupid, blow out, and your kids are now having to move into a trailer park because daddy financed the house and his real estate, that's not cool. Right? That's not cool. So no, I would never borrow against my personal home. If you're single, fuck it, borrow against it. You got kids, I don't think your kids should have to move because daddy did some dumb shit. I think your first obligation is to protect your family. Protect the castle. The king never leverages the castle. So that's why I always use that illustration that think of yourself as a king or a queen. What king goes, fuck it, man. I think I'll take a loan on the actual crown itself. I think I'll go borrow against this shit that was given to me and risk it. No king does that. They go attack other kings. So, keep that in mind. Now, borrowing against a rental property, absolutely. Those are assets. That's what they're used for. Absolutely. I don't do it much because I like equity. Like equity. So I'm not a big borrower, but I will at times borrow against. Let's see. First, you can borrow against your stocks. I don't like borrowing against your stocks. I'd rather use stocks as collateral. But you can borrow against crypto pretty easy. I've put up stocks as collateral. So you can see, down 15% in the last day, down 10% in this Coinbase portfolio in the last, since it started. So it was up 40%. So huge swing, right? So from up 40% to down 10% in 1 week. Not for the faint of heart. But that's all right, man. This is just one. Got a couple of these. These are the ones I'm in. So some of these are super small. Fuck it. Pull them back. Let's buy some more. Let's triple, quadruple them. That's it, money flow gang. Appreciate that. How to get a copy of, just click my bio link. Yeah, so let's get back. I'll have to do some real estate ones where we'll go through realtor.com and one of your town. Some real estate. Everybody always thinks how do you find your houses? I look on Realtor. That's it, man. Ain't got no secrets. I just go find messed up houses that I can afford. That's it. That's it. And I have a little money ready to go, and I got a good credit, and then I go look at them, and then if I like them, I put an offer in. Most of them I don't get. Some of them I win. I just need one a year. That's it. Pretty simple philosophy. Now, I might look at 30 houses, and I might bid on 10 to get one. I might look at 30 to 50 in a year, and I might bid on 10 or 11 of them, and I might end up with one, maybe two. You don't want to do that in my town. Everyone getting yelled at. Then let's see. Des Moines easy, man. There's so many houses in Des Moines that it's Des Moines. They get mad at how I say it. There is an unlimited supply of cheap ass houses you can rent in Des Moines. It's shocking how many. Yeah, XRP was in a lawsuit. I don't trust those guys. Once you've been hemmed up by the federal government, it could be a rat. They might be the crypto rat. They got hemmed up and the government sent them back out on the street. They probably an informant. Can't talk to him. Can't talk to him. Well, see, if I lived in Reno, I would be buying trailer parks because we're trying to rent to poor people. Can't talk to no informants, man. XRP's an informant. So, the government been all up inside them. So, they're wearing a wire. In no way I would talk to those. Rolled up in court, rolled out, nothing happened to them. That's all right. I'd pass on that. And they got a huge supply of coins they could dump at any time. So not a big fan of it. Not again. I don't know enough about it. I just don't like. Once they said they were in court, I don't want to talk to them. That means they did something that the rest of them didn't do. At the Money Flow Trading System book, I usually show me to do with plug. Making me. Yeah, we'll look at a stock before we go. All the cryptos are basically the same. You all know that. Just pick your favorites and buy some. I do like this Ankar. Is that how we're saying it? ANKR. It's kind of cool. 11 cents. Pretty small cap, but man, I like it. We get some in this pullback here. This goes to $1. Could make a lot of money. He said plug. Let's look at plug. We'll keep it short. There you go. Beautiful chart right there. Look at that. Man. That is a beautiful chart. I don't know what the analysts have on it, but yep, beautiful chart, man. and this is a good teaching example. If I'm trading, if I'm just pure trading, I want to catch a breakout, I want to close it out, I want to make my money and go, then I don't buy stage ones. I only buy the breakout. That would be technically a breakout. I only buy breakouts. I'm not trying to buy the one. You start trying to buy the stage ones, you got to understand you're buying into a downtrend. What you think is the end of the downtrend. It doesn't always work. So if you're buying the stage one, I mean, I would have told you to buy there, there, there. Now, ultimately, if we think it's worth $47 when it gets there, the guy that did this and this and this is going to have more money. But if we're just trading, we want to buy the breakout. First target would be here, $35. Sell some and sell the. It keeps going. I'd sell the rest. You got to decide how fast, what your time frame is, how you want to move it. You bought one. There you go. And that's what we do in the book. I mean, you'll see if you trade with me, you'll be like, why is he doing it? Because I'll trade a little different. It's the same thing. I just use my time frame is different. Let's look at space real quick. They had a successful flight today. Space successfully. So that's kind of cool. This has been a nice chart here too, man. So excited. Yeah, semiconductors are setting up for sure. Intel, SOXL, I was looking at that one. Houses in Reno are expensive. They will probably be more expensive in 10. Very few places 10 years later, the houses are cheaper, especially in Reno. So just because they're expensive don't mean you can't invest in them. It just means you're buying expensive shit. Some people buy $100,000 purses. Don't mean it's a bad purse. It means it's a fancy purse. So there are people that rent expensive houses. That's not the rental game. Rental game is renting poor people. Just being real. Want to make money renting? Rent poor people. What we call working class people. That's a polite way of saying broke. To be one. With them. First, it's where space is going to run into trouble. Interesting, man. Okay, we got the screen share working, so that's cool. Now I just gotta figure out how to bring people onto it. They can be a little box down for them back. Most of the people I talk to, though, don't really say, but some of them do. Let's see. Yeah, let's look at. I own a little Tesla. I started selling some Tesla. So disgusted with. See, putting kids in Dogecoin, shitting on so full of shit. So yeah, it's right there. I mean, we're right at support. I was so disgusted though. I sold some and bought Roku. Let you know how disgusted. I took a loss. That's how disgusted. This guy's gonna shit on Bitcoin and put kids into Dogecoin. So I moved some money to Roku, PLTR, and Square. They like crypto. And like shit on it. After he made his money, he then wants to shit on it and take it down. I don't like that. Hit him in the face. I'm very disgusted. I'm just disgusted. I don't have any other word for it. Just rich and just disgusts me. He's a billionaire and he's gonna go and shit on other people's, and it's just terrible, man. It's terrible. I can't even believe the board hasn't fired his ass. Absolutely disgusted. I know all you guys love Elon. Oh, Elon, that guy can. I wouldn't pull him out of. If he was fucking drowning, I wouldn't raise him out of the water. Nope. Use your Dogecoin, sir. Can't help you. Only take Bitcoin. Made me mad, man. I mean, why would you say anything? Like, you know, when you tweet, you're going to hurt people. You know it. You know that. He knows that. He's not stupid. So he's like, well, I made a bunch of money. Let me just fuck all these people over right now. That'll be funny. Like, that's not funny, man. And then, I had a guy go, oh, that's how the market worked. No, 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 no. This guy knows what he's doing. Don't play stupid. Don't defend him. He knows exactly what he's doing. That should be in jail for manipulating the market. Put Martha Stewart in prison for almost nothing. This dude just does whatever he wants, man. Let's see. Love your streams, videos, man. Why don't you use DMI as an indicator anymore? Confuses people. I would use it if I was trading just 20-day breakouts. I would use the DMI more. I've just kind of morphed my trading style as more and more time played out, man. I like the DMI though. It's a good indicator. It's just more of a short-term indicator. And if you look at it, the DMI does basically the same as the MACD and the RSI. When the DMI line goes, and then I would get the same questions over and over, the center line on the DMI. So if we add this real quick so people know, I talk about it in the book. I don't do it in real, take it off of my charts. One is I get asked these questions over and over. Oh, ADX with DMI. Pull it up. Right here. And what really confuses people is this center line. And all this center line means is the momentum of the trend. So if the trend is strong, this line will rise. It doesn't matter if it's a bull trend or bear trend. So if you look over here, see that line rise. Well, when it breaks out of this line, so when you see it break out, right here, right? See the breakout? You know what? Let's do it this way. When you see that breakout right there, and we see another one right in here, right? We go up, what are you going to see? RSI is going to be extreme. See? So that's one of the things the DMI does for you. When the DMI line, or this is the ADX, when the ADX line breaks outside of the bands of the green and red band, that means price is overbought. Now, if it's a bear trend, the red will be on top of the green. And if price breaks out of the band, it means it's gone down too far too fast. So I don't know, it just kind of began to confuse people. You can do the same thing with something else you'll notice different that I do that's not in the book. This is the standard MACD indicator, moving average, convergence, divergence. But if you notice, I have this up here. This is the MACD without the lines. I don't need the lines. The lines happen when the price crosses the center line, right? So I don't need the lines to tell me that. But if you look down here, that's when they cross. Some people like to see the lines. Originally, when he created the indicator, it was just these lines. Moving average, convergence, divergence. And what he's looking for is when they converge, which is what you see there. Right? And the divergence is when price diverged from the indicator, gave you a little insight into it. Well, I do keep the TSI. This is not on a lot of platforms, though. A lot of platforms don't have TSI. It's very similar. These things are all very similar. So on the MACD, I'm not really concerned about these crossovers. What I'm looking at are the histogram moves. So when it starts to tick this way, it tells me the uptrend is losing steam. See? And it's probably topped out. If the RSI is extreme and that starts to happen, that tells me more. But really what I'm using this for is these bottoms. If the RSI goes extreme right there, and then we put in what appears to be a bottom, and I come down here and I see these start to tick up, that's really what I'm looking for. If we wait on the crossover, shit, we're going to be way into the move, which would be the stage 2 breakout. So I like trying to buy before the breakout and then adding on the breakout. And then there's my target. So slight variation from the book. It's not really variation. It's just implementing stage 1 into it. And then understanding it, all that. We'll save that for Sunday. think he's an actor on a stage. Definitely an actor. What's the DM? I watched a lot of your content. Sounds new. No, it's from the book. How you gonna watch my content? You ain't bought the book. Man, come on, man. Come on, man. Let's see. Yeah, so Sunday we'll do the basics. Age move. That's it, man. That's all I got. I wanted to check in on Bitcoin. Now, to be honest, I'm not watching Bitcoin on a daily chart. I'm watching it. I should have made that clear. I'm watching it on a 4-hour chart because it trades 4 trading days a day. Market's open 6.5 hours. Means Bitcoin trades 4 times as much, almost 4 times, 3.8, whatever it is. So what I'm looking for is a break. I'm watching this 20-day on a 4-hour chart. So if we're watching this, we had our extreme stuff here on Bitcoin. We had our extreme that put in our low. So that's where I'm trading off of a stage 1. If you wanted to trade Bitcoin, target would be up here, trading it. We could easily bounce up to there and then go back down, right? So what I'm waiting on is this breakout above here. We started to get one and it pulled back. Depends on where you're putting your stop. I mean, geez, that's a way down there. It's up to you where you're putting your stop if you're trying to trade this. I mean, these are 3,000 range trades. I mean, I don't know, man. Be big. So I just been nibbling on these stage 1s. So I was telling my buddy, I said, listen, the easiest way to do it, just buy every day it's below this green line. When it goes above it, stop buying. What is that? If it goes down, you'll buy. If it goes up, you just ride it up. So, I mean, you can simplify it, man. Yeah, Disney for the buy and hold over. But yeah, it ain't going nowhere. Yeah, so hopefully that looks a little better on YouTube. We'll keep fancying it up, man. Just haven't had time. All right, man, you guys be good. That's our thing on Bitcoin. We're still in stage 4 decline. No breakouts yet. Looks like we're forming a box. Good buying spot to me. Especially if we're about to move up. I mean, damn. That's it. We'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll go live at 9 Central Time and start from the. All right. Talk to you soon. We'll share that. Dude, come on.